Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in today's video I have a get ready with me. So I asked on Instagram any questions you want me to answer in terms of alopecia. They are quite alopecia related questions, wig info in there, relationship info in there, and a little bit more about me and my alopecia. I don't usually do my makeup and talk, so I'm sorry if it's not very polished, if I'm like clattering about, because most of the time what I edit out is I'm like looking for stuff and I'm like fishing about, which is so annoying, but I couldn't exactly edit that out because I'm like mid-sentence. I think a lot of the stuff that I do have to say, a lot of these could take a lot away from, so definitely watch, please. Give it a little like and all that jazz if you are enjoying it already. If you want to know all of the juicy details, then keep watching. I keep forgetting I need to actually like do my makeup while I say this. Before I start answering this question, I'm going to cut out my tattoo brows. Honestly, I literally sit down and start a film, then I'm like, where's this? Where's that? But I found some scissors anyway. I got these off eBay. I do have a review on my, or kind of a tutorial on my Instagram if you want to go and check that out. We'll be doing another tutorial on how I do these in more depth because I've found the way I love to do them now. And these are in the style E14 if you did want to purchase them. So there's my little brows, these cut out. So someone's asked, how did your alopecia start? It started when I was about 1.5 to 2 year old, when my mum noticed a little patch on the top of my head. My parting was really wide and the hairline on the back of my head was really high. So obviously that was quite unusual, so she decided to take us to the doctors, and he was kind of really dismissive of it and just said, oh, it's baby alopecia, it'll go away. And clearly it didn't go away. So we went back and I was referred to a dermatologist because it was getting worse, and I was diagnosed with alopecia areata at around 3 year old. This also relates to the question someone asked, so did I ever have hair? So I did have hair when I was younger, but obviously not for long. I had full head of hair up until I was 1.5, 2 year old, when my mum started noticing kind of the patches. I had hair for that part of my life, and then it gradually kind of got worse from there. Like the patches would get more during the winter, but they would kind of fill in during the summer, until I think I was around 5, 6 year old, where I would decide to just shave my head, and I've had no hair since. So I can't really remember it falling out. I can remember parts of obviously my childhood with it, but I can't remember having hair. I do think it is hard to have hair and then to lose it, because for me I've kind of not known any difference now. So I kind of can't miss hair because I didn't know what it was like, if that makes any sense. And you are like conditioned to doing your makeup and hair a certain way, and then that is totally flipped around and you've just got to relearn everything, whereas me, I learned from the beginning. Top of these brows I'm using the Benefit Their Real Push-Up Liner in Beyond Brown. Let me find the next question. What type of alopecia do you have? At the moment I've got alopecia universalis, which is complete body hair loss. There's no hair on my body. I don't have lashes, leg hair. Someone else asked, were you alopecia universalis straight away, or did it start as alopecia areata? So yes, my hair loss started with patches. So that is alopecia areata, and I was like that until about 5, 6 year old, where I decided to shave my head, which developed totalis, which is just scalp loss. Actually, I think it was about 10 year old when my lashes and my brows started to go. So that's when it developed into alopecia universalis. And honestly, I never even know how to pronounce alopecia universalis and all these exotic names, but I feel like we all have different ways of pronouncing it, but we know what we mean. Another question is it curable? At the moment, alopecia is not curable. There's not much research going into it to know kind of what the cause of it is. There's obviously links to maybe stress or genetics running through your family. So there's no cause. As for cures, not much research goes into it, because I think a lot of doctors and people will look at it and be like, well, you can live with it. It's not exactly something that people may consider essential when it comes to research. I know there is some stuff about some trials going on, and there is lots of treatments that you can try out there. A lot of people have tried steroids, steroid injection, steroid cream, herbal remedies, spiritual remedies if you fancy it. And to be honest, I've tried everything when I was younger, but the only thing I didn't try was the steroid injections because I was so young, and the steroid injections can be really painful. We didn't decide to give me steroid injections, especially because it might not even work. It might stimulate some hair growth, but not worth the pain that you do go through. And I've heard that from a lot of people who I know who do have alopecia. They said the pain of it is kind of unbearable. I think I stopped going to the dermatologist when I was around 10 or 11. I have no idea, that was a big guess, but around that time we'll say, because there was no kind of development, no improvement. It was just stagnant really, so going all the time just wasn't gonna do anything unless I kind of wanted to begin to see them. But I haven't been back since, and I haven't actively searched for a cure or kind of treatments to try since then, because I've just learned to live with it and cope with it and just realise like this is me now. So, and to be honest, I'm not too bothered about actually having grown my hair back. I think I'm too used to just being the way I am now, and like as I said before, that it was hard for someone who did have hair to lose their hair and then having to adapt to having no hair and kind of learning new things. I feel like that would be the same for me, but obviously just the other way around. Like I'm used to the way I do things now in terms of eyebrows and stuff like that, and I mean I think I still obviously do have hard days in terms of not accepting it. Obviously I've accepted it, but kind of my self-confidence maybe, but I feel like every person gets that really. So someone did ask, if there was a cure, would you take the medication or stay as I am? And that is a hard question because honestly, like I haven't actively sought any sort of treatment and I've not actively wanted to take any, so I wouldn't really I think if there was a cure out there that I knew worked, I don't know, it's a hard one. I mean I think I would like to try it, but I don't know if I would like having hair. So I feel like a lot of people who had hair before having alopecia, they would definitely take it, but me, to be honest, I'm not bothered. Like I feel like I'm content with myself and kind of content with how I look and my life I feel lucky to have anyway, so I'm not too fussed. And someone also asked, how do I make the tattoo brows look so natural? And this is how I do it. You're seeing exactly how I do it right now. Definitely you can't have any brow hair to do them, and I think using product on top of them, like the Benefit, really just emphasizes and makes it look so natural. And using those fluffy brow strokes on top, them are the key I think to it. Just on the ends of my brows I also do like to use the NYX Cosmetics Matte Liquid Eyeliner and just add a few tiny strokes just to the ends. So I'm using the Collection Concealer in Extra Fair and the Doll Beauty DB11 brush. And since we're on the topic of brows, someone asked if I would ever consider microblading. I have looked at it, but I don't think I would ever go for it, just because I'm so picky and fussy and I just like having the freedom of doing my brows how I like them. I just don't feel like I could commit to one kind of shape, one style, and I think that is the good thing about having alopecia. I mean right now, going to work and stuff, doing my brows on a morning can take time, and that's probably the one main incentive for me into getting some microblading brows. But I feel like microblading, it does fade down, and I feel like I wouldn't be fully happy with how they were just naturally, so I would have to do something on them anyway, which kind of just outweighs getting them done and the incentive for getting them done, because I'd want them done for more quickness, but I still feel like I'd have to do something with them. Although I'm grown to just having no hair, no eyelashes, and just having brows on my face, although I'm kind of liking that look. I kind of do like having the all or nothing as well. Oh my god, honestly it's so hard talking while I'm doing this. This is one of the most concentrated parts of the whole look, and it's so hard to talk. Just thought I'd quickly finish them off so I don't sound like I'm going blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then I'm just blending that out. And then I'll move on to the next questions. And I'm using my Plouise base in the colour Rumour 02 just to prep my eyelids. And someone has asked if they think my hair will ever grow back, and no, I don't think it will. See, I've had it for so long, and I know never say never. It's probably happened for someone before where it has grown back. I don't know that person personally. I don't think it will, because I've went through kind of the key stages where there's a big change in hormones in your body, and it hasn't ever really stimulated any hair growth. I know a few girls who, when they got pregnant, their hair grew back then. Again, it's only like a temporary thing, so no, I don't think it will ever grow back. Okay, I'm using my Doll Beauty Sweet Treats Mudpie and Mochachinos. What should I go for? What am I feeling? This colour here. Toffee Sponge it's called. Putting this onto a DB12 fluffy brush from Doll Beauty. Just going to pop this into my crease. Someone's asked, do I ever leave the house without a wig? And yes, I do all the time. So when I went into high school, that's when I had alopecia totalis. Every day without a wig and just my head. So I've kind of grown up going outside and being around people without my wig. And it does just depend on where I'm going, and usually I am just all and often with it. For example, during this lockdown on a morning we've been going for a walk and I will just go out without my wig. If I go to a big shopping centre, usually I will wear a wig just because there's a lot of people, and I think it's just like, I don't know, usually I just can't be bothered with it. So I will just wear a wig. I mean, I'm getting better with it in that I think I could go to a shopping centre without my wig. If I had makeup on, I'd be fine to do that. I mean, I know I can seem quite really confident and stuff like that just because I don't wear my wig and because I'll go on social media without my wig, but there's still stuff that I do struggle with kind of mentally when it comes to certain places and being places without my wig on. Okay, and then I'm going to take my Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette and I'm just going to take this colour here, Commando, the DB5 brush. And honestly, for me, going out without my wig, like, it's a hard one because I'm not bothered, but I am sometimes. It just depends. If I'm having a day where I just feel super self-conscious, sometimes I'm just not bothered. I think it depends who I'm with, who we see when we're out. I think that's got a lot to do with it as well. But I think kind of advice for anybody who does want to get to that stage where they can go outside without the wig and kind of get there. I think just small steps. You will get days like that where you don't want to and days where you feel like you can. I think it's just taking each day as it comes. This colour here, this deep burgundy, and it's called Cherry Pie. Okay, so a lot of people have also been asking about like relationships, dating. So I haven't been in many relationships. I've only been in 2 relationships. Obviously I'm only 22, so I wouldn't expect a lot. I got into my first relationship when I was 16, that kind of time when I was younger, and I suppose you could consider that dating where you're kind of talking to people. They've known from social media that I do have alopecia and I've never hid it from them, and I don't think I ever would, because then you just build yourself a hole and a lot of pressure to when to tell them and how you should tell them and everything like that. But I still felt in my own head I couldn't really fully be confident or be with someone. In my head, if they'd seen me with all my makeup and everything and they found me attractive that way, in my head I was like, well, how are they gonna find me attractive without it all? And that was definitely in my head for a long time, kind of meeting people. The way I met my current boyfriend, like, I'm glad I met him without a wig and stuff, because it just makes us so much confident and it makes us realise like he actually loves me for me, like he didn't say anything else before he saw this. So I'm next gonna take this colour here. It's called Treats. And I'm just going to pop this all over my lid. I feel like I'm really bad at talking and like explaining these questions, but I'm trying to like explain as best possible. A lot of the stuff that I'm explaining was in my head and I'm like trying to put it in words and it's really hard. But anyways. And then we're just gonna blend out those edges. My first relationship, he was kind of introduced straight away to me not having hair. And when I met my current boyfriend, I met him without my wig first before he seen me with my wig and makeup and everything on. I swam competitively, so I used to be in the gym a lot, and he started going to the gym around that same time. So in the gym I would have no makeup or wig on. He started talking to me like that in the gym. If they know straight away, then you've told them, you're not hiding anything from them. It gets the pressure off you, and you know they're gonna like you for you no matter how you look. And I'm going to take a bit of mochachino, this dark brown colour. So yeah, I feel like I was really lucky to find him, and he doesn't care. Like, to him it's only hair, and he sees me for me, and he finds us pretty without it anyway, so that's great. You're gonna have to be with someone who can love you for who you truly are. You don't want to have to feel conscious about how you look or think like they might find something better, or because if they don't accept it, you're obviously always gonna feel doubtful in yourself, and you're just not gonna feel confident, and you really don't want that. And if there is somebody who you are dating and they can't accept it, then they've done you a favour for sure by actually showing what kind of person they are. Like, I wouldn't be fully upset if somebody didn't find me attractive without. For me, it's like somebody having a type, and if no hair isn't your type, then I'm not your type. So I'm going to pop on some lashes. My boyfriend, he also does love the fact that I look so many different ways if I want to, and he just says like, I'm never ever going to get bored because you can look completely different and change up the way you look all the time. So I definitely think it's about finding that right person and not settling for any less because you've got alopecia. Just know your worth, and just know, like, if somebody doesn't fancy you, then don't take it personally. Like, you won't find everyone attractive, and they won't either. And I feel like you can tell when someone is shallow, and honestly then people just aren't worth it. There's definitely someone out there for you, and definitely someone who will love you for you. Shout out to my boy for being an absolute dime piece. Thought it's not a good idea to speak while I'm doing this because I've poked my eye out about 10 times trying to actually speak. So I'm just going to use the Bare Minerals Original Prime Time Primer. Somebody asked, how do you change your mindset to find yourself sexy without hair and makeup? So for me, this is definitely something I'm probably still working on. As much as I can seem confident on social media, I myself would love to feel better with. The things that's helped me, definitely my boyfriend, obviously, that validation from him, but I definitely say like you need to start seeing it for yourself. So like just knowing your worth, and just like as soon as you start to feel confident and owning it a bit more, it can just, honestly, it can spiral and it can make you feel so much better about yourself, and you'll just realise like eventually, like, why did I even care? It looks so sexy if you do own it. It just shows that you don't give a and nothing's gonna stop you. People will be attracted to that. Obviously there is days where you're gonna feel like rubbish, but I feel like everybody does, whether you have hair or not. It really needs to come from within, because no matter what someone tells you, if you really believe something, like, you're just not gonna believe it. So that's what you need to remember. You as yourself is enough. Using the Bare Minerals Original Foundation in the colour Neutral Medium. I've got some wig questions. So wig care, I would definitely say looking after your wigs are just like so essential, like especially if a wig is really like expensive, you really want to look after it. If it is human hair, and you know the hair tends to get quite dry, you really want to have like a moisture sort of shampoo and conditioner for it, and some oils. Not being too rough with your wig, it can pull a lot of hair out. It won't last very long if you aren't like fully taking care of them in that way. Synthetic wigs are way harder just because the type of hair it is, it mats way quicker, and in all honesty it just doesn't last long at all. So that's what really annoys me about synthetic hair, even though you can get some really nice synthetic wigs. Just making sure I'm washing them whenever they need it, not being too harsh on it. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the colour 05. And somebody's asked, how long did it take you to find the wig? Obviously I've been probably wearing wigs for about 12 years now, maybe longer, 14 years. It took me a while. I was only introduced to Noala last year, and they are the best wigs I've ever found. But I also feel like wigs are constantly like changing and updating, and when I first started wigs, these lace wigs that are so realistic just weren't an option to me. But now they're improving, and I obviously only found that last year, and I've been wearing them for 14 years. But I feel like that is just with the changing times, and now you know, like, there's so many options out there for you. I think the main thing is just trying to look like, definitely look for reviews, not what they present on their own page, because it can always be biased. They're not going to post a bad review on the page, so always actively seek out the reviews and maybe try and get into contact with people who wear them, not people who are paid to post them, because I know how expensive they can be, and it is like so soul destroying actually spending so much money on a wig and it being so rubbish. Check like your returns policy. So I'm now using the RCMA no colour powder to sit under my eyes. So now I'm going to use my Revolution Bronzer Reloaded in Holiday Romance and also in Long Weekend. Someone's also asked, how do you prepare your wig for a windy day, especially the part next to the ears? So my wigs, I usually always glue them down. So for windy days, glue them down, especially the bit next to the ears. It might flap up a bit. I use the Got To Be Ultra Glued and also the Got To Be Blast and Freeze Spray. That combo for me works really well. Just make sure you are like generous when you are putting it on, because that helps it like actually stick rather than just a little slither on, if you know what I mean. For me, I don't really have obviously trouble in the wind because I do stick it down, so you can also get some really strong glues if you are conscious of it, but the strong glues like Ghost Bond, the Walker lace glue, and also like Invisibond, things like that. Like, look at that, how am I meant to read that? It's Ellen something, but I'm using one of these blushes anyway, and I know it's actually really scabby, but they're cute. And I can't really speak because I need to do this nice little, oh, I just live for blush. A little pop on the nose. So I'm just gonna pop that burgundy colour underneath my eyes, then also blend it out with that toffee sponge colour. And someone is asking me, how do you blend dark lace? It's always such a disappointment when you buy a wig and you need it to be transparent lace and it comes and it's dark lace and it just doesn't match your skin. It is the worst, and especially like if it is transparent and it just doesn't match your skin still. But for me, add some of your makeup on to the lace to try and lighten it. I would start with that and do it from the inside, just add in a little bit of powder onto that lace. So then I would glue it down as normal, but use baby hairs to disguise the lace all the way around as much as you can. Any bits where there is like sections where the baby hairs kind of separate a little bit, I would try and add a bit of like lines of concealer in. And I'm going to use the colour, ooh, what should we go for? A Rush. This one here, it's like a champagne colour. I'm just going to pop that on my inner corner. And I'm going to use this NYX liquid liner just to create some bottom lashes, and I'll continue talking, sorry. I do have a tutorial on my Instagram on how I do actually lighten a darker lace. I will do a specific video on that if you do want to see that. I'm just going to line my lips with a dark brown. Okay, and I'm going to use the Avon lipstick, and it is in the colour Au Naturel. Oh my god, I almost forgot highlight. Why do I do this? I'm going to use the Laura Geller Baked Highlighter in Sunset Glow. Ooh. This is my finished look. I know, I'm really sorry if that just wasn't polished at all. It's so hard actually speaking and doing your makeup. Normally I'm sitting here just like by myself doing my makeup, but yeah, it was good. I will get better if you ever want to see any more of these. I think I might put a wig on today. Let's do it. This is the finished look, and I hope you took something from all of my blabby answers that I have to give. Obviously I got a lot of questions about like dating and things like that, and I think that is a worry for a lot of people when they do have alopecia. But definitely you just need to learn to love yourself before someone else can love you. There definitely are gems out there. Shout out to Jack, being a nice boyfriend now and again. Not all the time. He's nice when he buys us McDonald's. I hope you enjoyed this video and the finished look. And please do join me in my next videos. Make sure you give it a like, comment if you do enjoy this makeup look. If you want to see any more Get Ready With Me. If you do have any questions, I'll link all of the details down below in the description. I'm literally ready like this and I'm going to do my food shopping. Asta's gonna love me. You know when you've got like full face makeup on and everything, you just look so extra, and then you can just see people just looking at you thinking, why she got so much makeup on? Please do subscribe to my channel as well and turn on post notifications so you get updates whenever I post. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.